Can a fighter jet stop a missile? This question is central to modern air combat. People see dramatic escapes in movies. A pilot pulls a hard turn, the missile explodes harmlessly behind them. The reality is far more brutal and complex. It is a deadly game of technology, physics, and human skill. A single mistake can be the difference between life and death. Understanding this duel is key to understanding air power today. This deep dive will break down the truth with simple facts and clear language, not Hollywood fiction. The goal: how a fighter survives or fails to survive an attack from a guided missile. The stakes could not be higher. A modern fighter costs tens of millions, sometimes hundreds of millions. The pilot is the product of years of intensive training. Losing one aircraft and pilot is a major blow. Missiles are cheaper and numerous. An enemy can launch many from the ground, from ships, and from other aircraft. The fighter is often the underdog. One target, many threats. Core question: what tools and tactics defeat a missile? How effective are they against different missiles? We will look inside the jet, its countermeasures, and the missiles themselves, how they hunt. By seeing both sides, the picture is clearer. This is not a simple yes or no. The answer depends on the situation, speed, distance, technology, and luck. First, missile types a jet might face. Then, the jet's own systems, sensors, and defensive measures, flares, chaff, jamming. We will study historical examples, bust myths, and finish with a grounded conclusion. The world of air combat is changing fast. Knowing the facts matters more than ever. A missile is a self-propelled, guided weapon. Think of it as a smart rocket. It has an engine for power, fins for steering, and guidance to find its target, plus a warhead. Its job: travel from launch to target and destroy it. Pilots face two main categories: air-to-air missiles from other aircraft and surface-to-air missiles from ground or ships. Each is unique and deadly. AAMs split by how they see: infrared and radar guidance. Heat seekers look for engine heat, like the AM-9 Sidewinder. They lock onto the hot exhaust and home in. Early seekers were simple. Modern ones are far smarter, able to distinguish jets from decoy heat. Radar-guided AAMs use radar to track. Some have their own radar, so-called active radar homing. AIM-120 AMRAAM is fire and forget. The shooter can turn away. The missile guides itself. Semi-active types need the launching jet to illuminate the target, making that jet more vulnerable. SAMs launch from vehicles or fixed sites and are often larger, with more range and speed. They form layered integrated air defense systems. Different layers cover different altitudes and ranges, from long-range S-400 class systems down to shoulder-fired man-pads, often heat-seeking and lethal to low flyers. Low altitude brings cover, but increases man-pads' risk. Threats: AMs and SAMs, IR and radar seekers layered in depth. A modern fighter is a flying bundle of advanced tech. Speed and agility help, but survival depends on its brain. The primary sensor is radar, scanning hundreds of miles, detecting aircraft, ships, sometimes even missiles. The pilot sees this picture on cockpit displays. Beyond its own radar, the jet is networked, getting data from ground radars and AWACS, data sharing that expands situational awareness. A launch warning might arrive from hundreds of miles away. RWR listens for enemy radar and alerts the pilot with tones for search, lock, and launch. MAW can see a missile's hot plume directly. All data flows to the pilot and computers. Training teaches split-second interpretation. Automation can recommend maneuvers or even deploy countermeasures. Sensors plus networks equal awareness, the first and most important line of defense. A warned pilot has a chance. A surprised pilot has almost none. The first step is knowing it's there. Sensors and networks buy time. Once alerted, the clock starts ticking. Impact could be seconds or minutes away. Pilots use performance to evade, not just speed in a straight line. Key tactic: put the missile on the beam, 90 degrees to its path, reducing closure rate and confusing guidance, bleeding the missile's energy fast. Both jet and missile have limited energy. After motor burnout, the missile is a glider losing energy with every turn. The jet keeps producing thrust, using turns, climbs, and dives to force the missile to maneuver. But modern missiles are supersonic and highly agile. Humans can take number 9G, missiles can pull 50G+. At close range, in the no-escape zone, evasion may be impossible. Best defense: don't get shot at. Find, avoid, or kill the shooter first. Evasive flying is last-ditch, not guaranteed. If dodging and decoys fail, the last line is hard kill. Physically destroying the missile is extremely difficult and rare. It's like shooting a bullet with a bullet. Ships have CIWS walls of lead, jets don't. Jet guns aren't designed for missile defense. Concepts exist, but add weight, complexity, and cost. Air forces invest in not being shot at, stealth and better countermeasures, and teamwork. A wingman or strike package killing the launcher. Future: lasers and high-power microwaves to blind seekers or fry electronics. Programs like SHIELD aim for podded self-protection lasers. Vietnam: SAMs, SHIR AMs reshaped combat. Early losses were high. Pilots adapted with new tactics and tech. RWRs, jamming. Falklands: sea-skimming missiles proved hard to detect. All aspects sidewinders and superior training were decisive in dogfights. Gulf War: stealth plus massive EW created safe corridors. Layered: team defense neutralized IADs. Recent wars: advanced jets versus older defenses often succeed, but threats evolve. Advanced SAMs and lethal manpads persist. Low flyers remain at risk, seen in Afghanistan and Ukraine. Lesson: no permanent solution. Constant adaptation wins. Myth: a great pilot can always dodge. Fact: outcomes depend on kinematics and ranges. In the no-escape zone, agility and energy favor the missile. Myth: flares always defeat heat seekers. Modern imaging IR can reject simple flares. Myth: guns can shoot down incoming missiles. Reality: tiny target, huge closure, sub-second window, statistically near impossible. Real defense emphasizes stealth, jamming, decoys, and maneuver. Trust reputable sources and official documentation. So, can a fighter jet stop a missile? The answer is a qualified sometimes. No single tactic guarantees survival. Defense is layered. Many links must hold. It starts with not being detected, stealth, and low-altitude flight. Early warning from onboard sensors and from the wider network. If a missile launches, evasive maneuvers, electronic jamming, chaff, and flares. Outcome depends on missile type, launch range, jet tech, and pilot skill. Often you raise odds from very low to merely low. Missiles will be smarter, faster, more networked, using AI to defeat decoys. Jets add new defenses, directed energy candidates, lasers offering potential hard kill, AI speeding decisions beyond human limits, and unmanned wingmen to scout or even intercept threats. The sky becomes an electronic battlefield. Jets are large, expensive, and fragile. Missiles are small, fast, expendable. Survival hinges on technology, tactics, and training to live and fight another day. Trust facts, not fiction. Breaking defense, the war zone, Janes, and official releases. The duel is real. The stakes absolute.